This is where you get your news without the bias, just the facts. Big news today. Trump has said that he is taking over DC. They are going to federalize Washington, DC. Let's see what's going on here. According to Axios, it says that 800 National Guard members are being called to DC. Trump said at a Monday press conference, adding that he might bring in the military if needed. Trump is calling this Liberation Day for DC. So the DC Guard is the country's only National Guard unit reporting exclusively to the president. Trump can temporarily take over DC's Metropolitan Police Department, which includes more than 3,000 sworn members for up to 30 days under the city's Home Rule Act. It's the first time a president has invoked the provision. This provision was made back in the 1970s, and Trump is being able to do like an emergency protocol and saying, hey, it's going really bad in DC. Trump citing homelessness and violence and saying, hey, this is grounds for me to do emergency takeover over DC, at least temporarily. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is removing homeless encampments from parks in the city. This is quotes, "We are going to take our capital back. It's been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs, and homeless people, and we're not going to let it happen anymore." So the violent crime is down in all categories in Washington, D.C. during the first half of 2025. This is some of the criticism against Trump's claim. So I know the D.C. mayor was saying, hey, we're actually doing way better in crime than we have done in the past. Homicides in Washington are down 12% from this time in 2024. Homicides are declining from a pandemic-era spike. They've been trending higher than a decade ago. So that's some of the criticism against it. Here recently, 2 weeks ago, there was a Doge staffer. One of Trump's staffers had gotten beat up in D.C. So this seems to have really sparked Trump's interest in federalizing the city. Trump's announcement comes after around 450 federal law enforcement officers from departments including the Amtrak Police Department, Drug Enforcement Administration, and Department of Interior were already deployed across D.C. Saturday and Sunday nights. So they've already been making a move over this past weekend. Here's the Washington Street Journal, gives a more deeper look into it. So Trump said that he would deploy National Guard troops to D.C. and place the city's police department under federal control, launching an unprecedented effort to take charge of the nation's capital. He's using Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, other senior administration officials to help govern D.C. 800 National Guard troops. The president compared the homicide rate in Washington with capitals around the world, including Baghdad, Bogota, Colombia. So this article is saying actually the crime is down percentage-wise in years past compared to what DC has been. This is quotes from Trump. "You want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe in going to a store to buy a newspaper or buy something, and you don't have that now." He said he's going to get rid of slums. The president has escalated his attacks on in recent days, saying that the mayor hasn't done enough to control crime and homelessness. He also increased federal law enforcement's presence in the city. They're deploying hundreds of federal agents throughout the district. So this is big news. This is the first time we've ever seen a president actually directly take over an emergency effort to take over the state's capital. We'll see what happens. We've seen here recently that Trump has gotten involved in a lot of minor issues, whether it's the NCAA or other universities, and now it's DC. We'll see what happens under this new ruling. Under the Home Rule Act, which established the district's governing body, Congress has the power to challenge laws passed by the Washington City Council and must approve the budget, although it rarely gets involved. The president can deploy the district's National Guard, but has limited ability to intervene in day-to-day matters. So this is strictly like police work, law enforcement. It's not maybe the budgeting of the water department. This is very strict to law enforcement. Here we see that Trump invokes Section 740 of the Home Rule Act, which allows the president to federalize DC if certain conditions of an emergency nature exist. Under the law, the president actually has to notify Congress. So we actually see on Monday morning, the president did notify Congress, notified the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, which has jurisdiction over DC. So we're going to see what they say. Are they going to say that this meets or does not meet the rationale of doing this act? The president said that Pam Bondi, his attorney general, would oversee the city's police department. Terry Cole, the administrator of the DEA, will serve as the interim federal commissioner of the DC police. The president said that he planned to call on Congress to take action to end cashless bail. He said that cashless bail has contributed widely across the entire country to more crime. Democrats criticized Trump's efforts to exert control over D.C. This is Dick Durbin, senator from Illinois, says this sort of theater of the absurd in politics is not the answer. Federalizing the police force of America is not the answer. We need to work on programs that do work in communities like DC and Chicago. So this has been a big debate between liberals and conservatives. A lot of conservatives have said, hey, these big cities are ran by Democrats, and that's why the crime is bad. That's why homelessness is bad. That's why poverty is up. We're going to see whether Trump can actually fix DC or not, or whether that even gets the opportunity to, because maybe judges push back, Congress might push back and say, hey, you can't take over DC like this. This is big news. I want to know what your opinion is. Put your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I'll see you next time.